Ladies and gents, Geometry Dash has just been updated again, and I'm here to tell you why it's amazing. Before we get into the super juicy bits, let's just cover some of the simpler things. So if you go into the editor now and you play a level like Yatagarasu and you go into practice, what you can do is you can actually go ignore damage. So you can practice levels in essentially just no clip. You can practice them and go through them. So look at that. Oh my god, I don't even need no clip though. I'm barely even touching anything here. Oh, I think I have a long ways to go with that level. It's really nice, especially for creators, because, you know, some creators aren't like extreme demon grinders, and they maybe just want to try their own level and see how it flows without having to worry about dying and stuff. You know, it's a quality of life thing for practicing levels. For really difficult levels, I guess it would be good to get into more of a flow state. It also says ignore damage in the top left corner, so you can't cheese your way to victory. You know, people will know you're using ignore damage. It's a pretty cool feature. The next one was updated on mobile a while ago, I think, but on PC we finally got it, where if you click on the stars here in your profile, you can go here, and it actually tells you how many of each level you've beaten. So it gives you more of like a clear representation of what kind of levels you're doing. Like someone might have 1,000 stars, but maybe they just beat like 500 2-star levels. We already had the demon thing implemented where you clicked on the demon and it showed you how many demons you've beaten, how many classic demons or platformer demons you've beaten, which is really cool. So now with this implemented, it gives you an exact representation of what do your stars mean. It's a good way to show off that you've done some hard levels. As you can see, I enjoy the hard difficulty, especially for star grinding. Speaking of the editor, when you are in here and you go and you choose a song for your level, there's an exclusive button now for no copyright sounds, because No Copyright Songs has lent a lot of their library, like 1,200 plus songs, to Geometry Dash to use, which is incredibly awesome, especially for a content creator like myself, because all of these songs right here, they are copyright free. Anytime I see an NCS pop up in a level that I'm playing for a video, I know that I don't have to lend my beautiful singing voice to cover the song, which is a really huge deal for me as a content creator, but it's also just a big deal for people making levels because it's 1,200 plus new songs, and that is absolutely incredible. There's so many bangers. In my old outro that I used for the channel like 5 years ago, I used a no copyright sound song, and it's great. Like, honestly, these guys are fantastic. Like, there's just so many banger songs. We are gonna get some sick levels with these songs, and it's just no copyright, so it's just something that I'm not gonna have to worry about when they're being used. I'm so glad that there's a partnership between Geometry and No Copyright Sounds. As a content creator, it's so nice. It's so nice. Oh my god, Rob Top and No Copyright Sounds. I love you both. Speaking of No Copyright Sounds, there's now going to be a gauntlet contest using the No Copyright Sounds library. So there's going to be 2 gauntlets, so in other words, a total of 10 levels, and it's a contest to see who can make the best levels using songs from the No Copyright Sounds library. The rules are pretty simple. It's just the game mode's classic, no platformers. It's a long or XL level, max 120k objects, and it's from easy 2-star to easy demon 10-star. So it's a level around that difficulty range. No insanely hard levels. 2 gauntlets that are going to be full of banger levels. 1 gauntlet going to be on the easier side, and the other one's going to be on the harder side. And the cool thing about it is there's cash prizes for it. So the winners get money. That's really cool. Maybe I should submit a level. Probably look a whole lot like Stereo Madness though. The deadline is September 5th, 2024. For level creation, it's a decent amount of time. It's like 3 months away, essentially, but some people take a long time to make levels. So better start working on them. So one cool thing that's been added as well is when you do get to the end screen, you can hide the screen that comes and covers it that says level complete. And the reason why that's kind of cool is levels these days, they have like really fancy end cards like this. And what you can do is you can just turn that off and you can see it. Now, a lot of levels will have the credits still playing. It'll tell you like who play tested the level, who verified it, who made it. And then you can click this button up here and you can hide the completion screen, and you'll be able to kind of read who was all involved with the level. So it's going to be awesome because people, I mean, they already put a lot of efforts into the end cards as well, but there's going to be a lot of effort put into like what happens after you beat the level as well. Is there going to be like a little cutscene that you can optionally watch if you press this? Or, people are going to be playing around with it a lot more, which is going to be really cool. So that's a cool little feature as well. Speaking of end screens, if you accidentally complete the level in practice mode, but you want to go back to the previous checkpoint, then you can actually do that now. You don't have to start the whole level over again. You can click on this button down here and you go back and boom, you're at the previous checkpoint. Because some levels have a long end screen, and what usually they would do is like on my final jump, I'd have to go, and if I wanted to practice more, I'd have to click that button before I completed the level. But some levels just complete really fast and you're not ready for it. And when you do, well, now you can go back to your previous checkpoint. Although I was kind of hoping in this update we were going to get in platformer mode, being able to select whichever checkpoint you are if you exit out of normal mode. So if you got to checkpoint number 1 and you exit normal mode and want to practice the level, you can go and practice it and then come back to that checkpoint. But we haven't gotten that yet. That would have been really handy for the Abyss completion, which I beat the other day. Speaking of platformer levels, if you go here, there's actually a new little indicator that'll tell you the expected time of completion for this level. Now, when it says 1 minute down there, it means 1 minute if you're very optimal at completing the level. Like if you don't die, it'll take you 1 minute to complete. It's not an exact representation of how long your experience is going to be with the level, from what I found anyways. It's more so like, if you don't die, this is how long it'll take. Like, for example, this one, I haven't played it. It says 1 minute. But if we take a look at a level like the Abyss that I beat, that took me 7 hours to do in normal mode, it says 14 minutes in platformer mode. And those 14 minutes, that means like the level front to back, if you don't die, that's the expected time of completion is 14 minutes. So for easier levels, sure, the estimated time of completion will be pretty accurate. But if you're doing something like a puzzle level that I was doing earlier, it said the estimated time of completion was 4 minutes, when in reality it took me like 25 minutes. So it's up to you to decipher what the data means when you get given the time of a completion of a level. It is pretty handy though, and it's a nice little feature. I like it. One cool thing about the update too is, for all of you that were having a hard time with speedrunning or just defeating the Cursed Thorn in general, the last boss in the platformer tower levels, the boss only takes 10 hits instead of 14 hits. Because some people were struggling. I mean, it's quite the long little gauntlet that you got to do to defeat the boss. Like, you have to be really consistent, because 1 hit and you're dead, and that's it, game over. So it was pretty stressful for some people, and it used to be 14 hits. Now with it being 10 hits, it's a lot more manageable, right? Yeah, we've done 4 hits on him, and there we go. 5 hits and his bar is halfway done. So it used to be 14 hits. Now it's 10 hits. A little more manageable for people. So there you go. If you're having trouble with the speed run or just beating him, go, and it should be easier now. And now it's time for the big kahuna. This is the thing that I really want to talk about, which changes Geometry Dash for me completely, and I'm so happy it's in the game. Geometry Dash used to be locked on 32-bit, which means I don't know exactly the technical details of it, but it means that you could only use, what was it, 2 or was it 4 gigabytes of your RAM, and it couldn't use all of your computer's processing power to be able to play the game. So in other words, if I was playing like a level like Ocular Miracle on my computer, even though I have a beast of a computer, it wouldn't matter, because Geometry Dash was forced into not using as much of my computer as my computer could handle. But that's changed now, because Geometry Dash is now on 64-bit for PC, which means I shouldn't be really lagging anymore, unless it's just the craziest level of all time. So I played a level in a video a few days ago called Chupacabra, and the ending of this level is nuts. It was pretty laggy for me. It wasn't unplayable, but it was pretty laggy. So we're gonna go check it out, and we're gonna see if this lags. Okay, so right after this, the boss was so insanely laggy at this drop. So let's see what it's like. Yeah, this is running way better. I don't know if it's perfect. Yeah, no, this runs like way better. Like, it's running so much smoother. Oh my god, before it was like pretty hard to see what I was doing, but now like that was pretty easy to see. I don't think it's perfect. It's a pretty intensive level, but I don't know if that was just like, if that was part of the filter that was going on that made it seem, it wasn't really choppy, but a little like slowed down. I think it was mostly just the filter. It's really hard to say with this level because the ending is so crazy. It for sure was running better. I don't know if it was running perfect though, but it's really hard to tell because the boss attack is kind of jerky, but it's part of the motion. So what I'm gonna do is we're gonna go back into 3 depth, which was the 3D level, which this level 100% was just straight up laggy for me. This is the ultimate stress test. The 3D game in Geometry Dash. Is it more playable on 64-bit? So now that the full processing power of our computer is unlocked to play Geometry Dash, that means we can have some really crazy levels. However, with that said, we still got to respect the mobile community because, I mean, I think that most players that are playing this are on mobile, and you don't want to you don't want their devices to explode, you know? Although mobile processing power is getting better as we go, but I don't think everyone that plays mobile either has like a top of the line new phone. Okay, I noticed a little bit of slowdown. It was just a little bit. It wasn't much. This was really slow for me before though. Like this part really started to slow down. And I noticed when I loaded in, it was just the tiniest little bit, but it wasn't much. It wasn't much. I don't even have the low detail settings on where it kills me every time. So let's see, this is the ultimate stress test, because ow. So this section, when you turn around here, when you turn around here normally, this part was lagging something fierce. It is lagging a little bit, because what it's doing as you turn around is it's loading the entire room. It's loading like from this side all the way over here to the other side, which is a lot of stuff to load. And so as I turn around here and load the other side, it's not that laggy. As I was turning, I noticed it was just the littlest bit of slowdown, but it wasn't that much slowdown. It very, like, before it was absolutely unplayable. When I got to this part in normal mode, without the low detail setting that kills me in between each room, it was totally unplayable. But now, that was like, it was a barely noticeable slowdown. That's unreal. Oh, that's unreal. Okay, so 64-bit is going to change the game entirely because creators are going to be able to do more with their levels. I mean, obviously those levels are going to be only for PC players because it's going to be so immensely laggy for mobile. Dude, for PC players, we can get some really like hardcore like 3D games using engines like this. It's going to unlock a whole different side of content creation, not content creation, level creation. It's going to unlock a whole new side to level creation, and we're going to get some like crazier, mind-blowing things because we're not limited now by having our processing power limited on the computer. Like that limit's gone. It's gonna be insane. We're gonna get some crazy levels. Who knows if they're gonna get rated because they're not gonna be very like mobile friendly, but damn, it's gonna be nuts. We're gonna get some nutso levels. That last section lagged so hard for me when I played through this level the first time, and now it was barely any lag. That's awesome. That is so awesome. Geometry Dash, this alone, this addition with the update is like, it's just huge. It's bigger than people are giving it credit for. Anyways, that's all I wanted to talk about. The update's pretty cool. I'll see you guys in the next video. Leave a thumbs up, helps me out a lot. And as always, peace.